In the British capital, but wait, Henry Higgins, there's unfinished business. One final showdown left to complete another year of battles royal and classic struggles. It began in January and it boils down to, in this modernistic O2 arena, two players, number 1 and 2 in the world. This is the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. And in the championship match today, the final match of this year in tournament competition, it's number 1 Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer. There is a buzz around this stadium. It has been jammed all year. Just short of 18,000 can be accommodated in this, I was going to say new arena. It's been here now for about a decade. Has been very successful as an indoor venue. And a very warm greeting to you, everybody. Cliff Drysdale alongside Patrick McEnroe. You know, we talk a lot about how great this year has been, Patrick, but it truly has. When this whole thing started, we were talking about Novak Djokovic because he comes off of 3 wins at the in Grand Slam play at the end of last year. He comes into the Australian, and he wins that as well. That makes it 3 in a row because he started Wimbledon and then the US Open. Now we come to the French Championship. He gets to the final. If he wins that championship match, he has 4 in a row. Virtually, not entirely, but virtually unprecedented. Then we get to Wimbledon, and even more surprises there in a way.
Well, and the first surprise was a bummer in that Rafael Nadal was up. Not that he was upset, but that he then was injured after that. And that was the last time we got to see Rafael Nadal play this year. But I'll tell you, the rest of these guys, and we're going to see another one of him tonight, Roger Federer, have come to play the rest of the year. Federer, of course, winning Wimbledon over Andy Murray, which was a great match. That propelled Murray to win the Olympics, to win the US Open. Murray goes out to Federer yesterday, and now we've got the top 2, the 2 heavyweights, at least in this year. It's been an unbelievable era in men's tennis, and it just keeps getting better.
And so now, at this championship match, the last match of the year, the tension, the pressure, the drama, maybe the panic. They've been here before, these two, obviously, a few times, but still every match is new, every match is different, and every match has its own tension. The winner of this match will hold the trophy, will take home millions of dollars, and for these two, this is a huge occasion. Here is the entrance of the two players to the stadium court.
Guys, can I remind you to pick up your mascot kids? They'll be on the left-hand side when you come through the door, going in 15. Ten. 5. Walking, walking. 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, the holder of 17 career Grand Slam titles, the 6-time Barclays ATP World Tour Finals champion, from Basel, Switzerland, Roger Federer! Winner of 3 ATP World Tour Masters 1000 titles this season, the Australian Open champion and the world #1, Novak Djokovic! Ladies and gentlemen, please thank this evening's Barclays mascot.
So it's showdown time, everybody, as you see this rather dramatic entrance here that started a few years back in Germany, and folks here in London have copied it, and it's quite sort of inspiring, isn't it? And you've got to believe that these players, as I said, they've been there before, Patrick, but still, you know, the nerves, the tension, the pressure, you've got to be a part of at least the opening stages of this match.
It's Goosebump City. I mean, it's great. And these two guys, as you said, Cliff, have been there many times already. And, of course, Federer, what he's been able to do this year and winning his 7th Wimbledon, it's just been remarkable. And, you know, each time they play each other, it's fun because there's always something a little bit different, something a little bit that I try to add another extra wrinkle. Yesterday with Federer taking on Murray, you know, you thought Murray had the edge early, came out very aggressively, had Federer on his heels. Roger made the adjustment in that match. Djokovic was down a set and a break against Juan Martín del Potro and fought his way back.
Okay, welcome to the final. 6 balls, 7-9. We have linesmen all lines tonight. Use the machine to call the net. Remind about the 25 seconds between the points. And if you want to challenge, please try to do it in a timely manner and clearly. And we have television changeovers, so please sit down until call time. Any questions? Heads or tails, Novak? Heads is called, please. It's tails, your choice. Serbia? Okay. Take a picture, please, with the lady.
Lars Graf of Sweden gets the privilege of being in the chair for this championship match. By the way, this is going to be the last time he's calling a match because he's going to contribute it to enter the ATP offices. And again, Patrick McEnroe, this is really a special occasion. Look, as I said, you know, we talk about Grand Slam finals, but the year-ending championship is something that these players really strive for all year. There are only 8 who qualify for this. They're divided into 2 groups of 4. They play round-robin competition. That leads to the semi-finals yesterday, and now the championship match. The players take this very seriously. Forget about you know, the head-to-head competition. There's prize money at stake, a huge amount, and they're also really big points.
Yeah, and let me give a quick shout-out to Lars Graf. You mentioned the chair umpire has been around forever. He's been in the chair for over 7,000 matches, and how about for him to finish his career with this one tonight? But as you said, Cliff, great matchup tonight. These guys have a long history. They know each other well. As we look at the Rolex minute, there are a couple of wrinkles that we talked about already a little bit from Roger Federer that I really liked that he was able to do when he took on Andy Murray. We go to this, the first time they played this year was in the semis at the French Open, and it was a very cold, blustery day, windy, and Djokovic really dismantled Federer. It was never really that close. He wins it in straight sets. Of course, lost to Nadal in the final. Then you go to Wimbledon. It was a set all. It looked like it was pretty even, and Federer just exploded. And Djokovic sort of was, I think he was a little bit rattled at how well Federer played and how pumped up he was. Of course, Federer goes on to win Wimbledon. Then they played in Cincinnati on a hard court, and Federer was on fire in the opening set. Won at 6-love, was toying with Djokovic. And then Djokovic got into the match, but it was a little bit too late. Federer was able to win the second set in a tiebreak. So Federer has beaten him the last 2 times they've played. Now overall, of course, they have a very long history. When Novak first came on the scene, I would even say Federer sort of like, hey, who is this guy? He had a little attitude. He was a little cocky. I think there's a mutual respect now. But look at that stat at the bottom there. For the 25th straight meeting in a semifinal or a final. So that tells you, what kind of big-time players we're looking at here tonight.
The other thing, Patrick, that you sort of alluded to it, and I think it needs bearing a repetition, and that is that Federer seems to be able to come up with a new game when he needs to. He's very good at challenging his opposition mentally, and, he did it again yesterday. You said he surprised Novak in that match at Wimbledon. He did, but he comes up with a lot of surprises. Let's get to this match, though. Let's look at the X's and O's here, Patrick, because it's going to be a very interesting encounter all around.
No, definitely. And a couple of those wrinkles I saw yesterday as we go inside the point. Federer chipped and charged a little bit more against Andy Murray. He was really looking to take some time away. He was struggling early in the match, got down a break. Obviously, what Federer's got to do well is dictate with the forehand. forehand. This was against Federer in round-robin play earlier in the week. Hits one backhand here, but for the most part, he's dictating the tempo of this rally with the forehand. That running forehand is going to be a very important shot for Federer. And if he can hit his spots on the serve, obviously that opens up the rest of the courts for him, as he did well late in the match against Andy Murray. He didn't start out serving that well. Now, what about Djokovic? What's he going to try to do? He's probably the best court position player in tennis. Takes the ball from the center of the court. He takes the ball close to the baseline, and he's able to keep his opponents on the move. He's great at going down the line off both wings. This point illustrates that very well when he took out Del Potro. And also, something I like from Djokovic this week, he's put a little more spin and hit some more angles on a few forehands this week. That this one right here goes back inside out. He's also hooked it cross-court as well. So that's something I think we should look for as well. And of course, really a signature part of his arsenal from the baseline is that great backhand down the line. I mean, you can't read it at all. And here he catches Del Potro. And he'll look to do the same. He's got to be a little more judicious with that play against Federer, because Federer moves so well to the forehand side.
The odds makers have got him the favorite here, not by much, Patrick. I'm wondering how you feel about this matchup when all is said and done. Bear in mind, this is the championship match of the year-ending final.
I'm going with Federer in a tight one, because I think the indoor conditions will slightly favor him.
Okay, I'm going with the Joker. We'll find out. It's world's number 1, everyone, against world's number 2, live from London.
ESPN's presentation of the 2012 Barclays ATP World Tour Finals is brought to you by South African Airways, bringing the world to Africa and taking Africa to the world. South African Airways. Rolex, official timekeeper of the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. And Tennis Warehouse, where the pros shop. TennisWarehouse.com.
Couldn't have scripted it much better, could you? Was number 1 versus number 2. It is Djokovic and Federer. And I wonder, Brad Gilbert at courtside, how you felt about the way that Patrick McEnroe broke this match down.
Oh, there's an amazing buzz in the air. And I do agree with Patrick. I think it's going to be really important for Novak Djokovic to play with a little bit of variety in his shots and really try to stretch Roger to the forehand. With some forehands cross-court to the forehand, some backhands down the line, and the key stat for Novak, who has won 3 in his career indoors against Roger Federer of their 28 matches, is to have a lot of variety on his shots and also to win above 50% on his second serve points won. The key stat for him tonight.
Please do not use flash photography. Thank you. Play.
Crowd is going to be relatively pro-Federer, and is from Switzerland. 31 years old. Still lives very close to where he was born, of a South African mother. Dad from Switzerland. They were in the pharmaceutical business, ranked number 2 in the world. He's been number 1 countless times. In fact, for more weeks than anyone in history.
Nice little start for Roger. Speaking of hitting the spots on the serve, 42 and 8 in this event. Looking for his 7th title at the year-end championships. Yeah, pretty tiny little opening game.
Was that under a minute?
Mentioned that the top 8 players, the Elite 8, qualified for this year-ending championship, the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals, and here final standings. Djokovic won all of his matches. Roger Federer lost to Del Potro on the last day of round-robin competition, so Del Potro qualified. He lost in the semi-finals. Federer taking out Andy Murray. So Djokovic winning all of his matches. He could win more than $1.7 million just for this event alone.
Just to answer your question, Brad, yes, it was 55 seconds, that opening game.
It's amazing how he can do that.
Didn't happen yesterday. He lost his first serve.
Yeah. Struggled early against Murray, who came out firing.
Real interesting story for Novak Djokovic, 25 years old, spent years in Germany after the NATO bombing of his country, 6'3". His record not near as solid as Roger Federer's here in the year-ending championship. Nobody's is. Lives now, claims residence in Monte Carlo.
The last time these guys played, remember in Cincinnati final, was like the quickest first set, 6-0 over in 20 minutes. Kind of an ominous start so far for Djokovic.
I'm surprised Djokovic came in on that shot there, and he was sort of defending at the net throughout this rally. So far, 6 points to none for Federer.
Federer with 3 break points. First serve game from Djokovic. Djokovic playing his second final at this event. He won in 2008. That was played in Shanghai, beat Davydenko. Coach Marian Vaida, little frown. Wow. 0 points to 8. 2 games to zip. His 7th Wimbledon title this year. That tied most of the Open era with Pete Sampras. He regained the #1 ranking as a result of that win. He was a semi-finalist. That was sort of, I would say, silver medalist, I should say. It was disappointing for him at the Olympic Games, losing in the championship match to Andy Murray.
Well, the indoor conditions slightly favor Federer because just by nature, he's a more offensive player. His serve's a little bit better, so that helps a big server. And he's also able to take the ball, I think, more consistently early off the bounce on this court because it's low bouncing, this indoor court as well.
That's the first point Federer's lost. You say he has a better serve than Djokovic?
Yeah, absolutely.
15 all.
I definitely think he has a better serve, yeah.
He hits spots better, and he gets a lot more 1-2s.
And I think his second serve overall is better.
That is long. What's a 1-2, Brad?
You know, serve and first ball winner. And I think that he hits more 1-2s than anybody I've ever seen. That it doesn't serve above 130. You know, that was a 122. He was in great position and then follows up with that first ball ground stroke a lot of times for a winner.
Yeah, or like that point, Brad, where he just forces the error because he hits such an aggressive shot. Maybe not a clean winner, but ends the point.
That's called
that
long.
That looked good to me. That looked inside the
Yeah, I'm wondering if we get a challenge.
Mr. Djokovic is challenging a call on the right baseline.
He knows it's good.
The ball was called out.
Yeah, this will be a line clipper.
Oh wow, inside line.
As you said, Federer knew it. Still only won 1 point to 10.
Got it. Offense in full flight early here.
Boy, he's moving so sharp, Roger.
Those balls, Brad, that come back deep, though, on this court indoors. Federer is just so comfortable taking those balls right off the bounce, and it's harder to do that outdoors.
Absolutely, especially on hard court. He would have gotten that ball up around his chest. That was at his waist, right in his comfort zone.
Challenge on the serve.
The ball was called in.
I think Clipper.
Not as sure as Djokovic. We'll find out here in just a second. The Rico challenge. The ball is out. So we'll see a second serve. Good. 40-30. Both started out very slowly in their semifinal round matches.
The thing, too, about this surface, and we saw it a little bit, remember last year when Nadal just got dismantled by Federer on this court, it can get away from you in a hurry on this surface against Federer. And even a couple of years ago when he played Nadal in the final, remember they split sets and he won like the first 4 or 5 games in the third set in about 12 minutes. With shots like that.
Superlative start from gentleman from Switzerland. Roger Federer, 3 games to love, 1 break. Face of the greatest player ever to play tennis, certainly in terms of the records that he has enjoyed. Grand Slams that he's won more than anyone in history, and he is still thriving on the court. Roger Federer.
Just right in his wheelhouse. He just cracked that.
Djokovic is thinking, oh no, not again, because this is what happened to him yesterday in the early stages. Andy Murray just outplayed him, playing the kind of tennis that Federer is playing. Very aggressive, going for the knockout punch very quickly.
Those are the kind of points Joker needs to play. You know, 10-ball rallies. Those favor him.
Set in the break for Murray, and then able to come back, broke twice, and then the third set it was all Joker, 6-2.
Well, Djokovic sort of, I think, knew that Del Potro would probably start to slow down a little bit. You know, if he could just hang in there and keep the ball in play. It's a little different against Federer. I think he's got to actually win the points a little more. Maybe if it was outdoors and a best of 5, he could think, okay, I can just work my way into it and let Federer cool down a little bit. But I don't think that could happen here. He's got to actually really step up and be aggressive off the ground.
Yeah, it was against Del Potro, obviously, and it was Roger Federer who was in trouble in the early stages of his match.
Oh, so was Djokovic. He was down a set in the break. They both were in trouble yesterday.
Yeah.
Federer was down an early break against Murray, almost down a second break, and sort of just hung around long enough to get to a tie break and then won that. And then Murray sort of fell apart a bit in that second set. Oh, just explodes onto that forehand.
Explosion, but with angle. That was just nowhere near Novak.
Unbelievable rip. He's pretty much seeing the ball like a basketball today.
Played 4 times this year, 2 apiece.
Patrick, do you like that play when Novak puts a little more air in his shots instead of just trying to go a little too flat?
No, definitely. Especially to the backhand side. This ball actually gets up a little bit on Roger.
The balance between his right and his left arm there. It's like he's flying. One point.
To your point, Brad, right there. I mean, Djokovic hit some shots really well, but they were pretty flat.
Every ball there was just a few inches over the net. And that seemed like that was completely in Roger's comfort level. Every shot in that rally.
Roger made 4 unforced errors so far in the match. More than balanced by 7 winners. Very quick start. Djokovic could have panicked in his semi-final, but he didn't. Same thing can be said for Federer.
I'm not sure Roger ever panics.
No. That's not in the vocabulary for him.
If there's a time to do it, it's setting a break down. Jason, is this what it takes to win a game?
Well, tonight it's Monday Night Football on ESPN, everybody. 6:30 Eastern. It's Monday Night Countdown, served up by Applebee's. And at 8:30 Eastern, Kansas City Chiefs take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday Night Football, KC versus Pittsburgh, tonight from Heinz Field on ESPN. Do not like the Chiefs' chances in that.
Prediction? Pain.
Not a good day for our teams yesterday, was it, BJ?
None.
Raiders and the Jets?
No.
That's just...
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! That could not have been played better by either guy.
That's insane right there.
Djokovic, like a squash player, just took command of the center of the court. He was running Federer around everywhere, and then finally, with a knockout punch.
This is an unbelievable low skimmer squash shot that he had to hit up on the approach.
15-11.
Djokovic absolutely was ripping the ball in that 23-shot rally.
Boy, that sends a message to Djokovic about what he's got to do to win points. And it's, from his standpoint, not a good one. Watching live coverage, everyone. This is the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. It's the culmination of the year in tournament tennis. It is Roger Federer, who's #2 in the world, against Novak Djokovic, #1 in the world. Djokovic going to stay #1 regardless of the outcome of this match, but it speaks volumes to next year, points, prize money, etc.
Yeah.
And if you discount the Olympic Games, which could not be discounted this year because of the venue of the All England Club, then this is absolutely, in the players' minds, the next biggest tournament to the four majors. 15-30. Anything short and he deals with it. That's Lynette, Roger's mom, born in South Africa, moved to Switzerland where they still live. His dad also, the father they don't sit together, and you know, he didn't used to spend a lot of time watching Roger. He couldn't take it.
So you think after 17 majors and 6 year-end championships, he's kind of mellowed out a little bit, Mr. Federer? He's, what else? It's all gravy?
No, it might also be that he's 31 years old, you know, Patrick, and he's thinking, I don't know how much longer my son's going to play. Well, honestly, I think he's going to play for a long time.
Break point here for Djokovic, who's certainly stepped up his game in this game.
His first chance to break. Gilbert was talking about, Patrick, and you agreed with it. A little more margin for error there on the Djokovic shots. And lo and behold, out of nowhere, he breaks.
Federer leads for game 2.
Well, Roger Federer on fire in the first couple of games of this match. That forehand spot on. Good second serve there. Sets up the forehand winner. Just explodes on that forehand. This finds the angle with this one on the move. Djokovic really went after that one. This slice stayed so low, so Novak forced to come in. That's the good news for Federer, but here's the good news for Djokovic. He's back on serve.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what makes these rivalries so amazing now. It's an incredible start by Federer, but Djokovic doesn't panic, just works his way back in.
Exactly, the panic quotient that these two do not feel. 18 total points to 12 for Federer, but on serve 2-3.
Novak was stretching his back a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see, how it comes up this game. He's doing a lot of breathing and stretching his back on the changeover.
Our new shot spot deal there. I love that. With that backhand up the line, starts working for Federer. Look out. There it was again, just... Played that backhand a little tamely, had a chance to go for it and kind of hit it back down the middle.
Novak's got the two-handed down the line also, remember.
Yep.
Federer's the third player to reach 8 or more finals at this event. Lendl was in the year-ending championship 9 times, Boris Becker 8.
I think Lendl did it 8 years in a row.
In a row, yeah.
And nobody's been more successful than Federer up there. The year ending.
13-15.
No easy matches here because it's just the top 8 players that qualify, and you have this round robin competition. You've got to play 3 of them, and then a semi-final.
Yesterday in the second set, we saw Roger do quite a bit of chip and charging, on the Murray second serve. We'll see him do that.
I think he should, Brad. And I think he can, because I think Novak's second serve is attackable. It's not quite as see Pippa there. There's been a lot of stars in attendance here this week. I think Murray's second serve is a little more predictable than Novak's.
I think it'd be a dangerous play to try to chip and charge on the return. I just think that Novak Djokovic on the passing shot is lethal.
No, he is, but the ball stays pretty low here. If you hit a good chip, and it's not going to be something he's going to use a lot, but just at the right time. And
much more comfortable for Federer to chip and charge from the deuce court, because from the ad court, it's harder to cover the open court here. Because generally in the ad court, if you're going to chip and charge, you're pulled a little wider just at the back end. And usually in the deuce court, you're coming in with the back end, you're right in the middle already.
No, there's no question about that. That has changed. Remember the old days when everybody was hitting slice backhands off the ad court, it was a different story. Not anymore. Deuce in this game, 2-3.
Advantage Djokovic.
Djokovic holds it 3 apiece. Championship match, everyone. Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. We're live in London. Cliff Drysdale here, Patrick McEnroe alongside. Brad Gilbert is at courtside. Again, the top 8 players, if you just joined us, qualified. 2 groups of 4, round-robin competition. Semi-finals yesterday. This is the final match of the year on the tour. There's Davis Cup to come.
This is sort of typical as you look at these trends here. I mean, typical in that Federer, if he gets on top of you, he can win points quickly in a hurry, while Djokovic is a little more on the grinder. He's got to work a little bit harder generally.
But that's better for Novak because he started to get longer points, and those really favor him. Those short points favor Roger.
Why do you say that, Brad? Why do you think the longer points favor Novak?
Well, I also think that's when Novak can use his variety. He can open up the court, and I think that, you know, his movement, you know.
You think he's quicker than Roger?
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's so much variety, Brad. It's actually more his consistency and his court coverage. Federer's got more variety. And sometimes if you stay in long enough with Federer, he'll almost try something just for the sake of trying it, because he's that good.
I mean, Roger's lights out fast, but at his age, he doesn't want to run 5 corners like Djokovic will do sometimes. And just like you said, Patrick, at some point when he's on the stretch, he will pull the trigger.
Yeah, but judging by what you said, he should pull the trigger as early as he can. First strike tennis is what he needs. He's got a lead. Roger Federer up 4-3 first set. "86 matches against 82, 7 days and 33 minutes. You know that? Our guys down there will come up with some remarkable
look at it.
statistics.
Look at the miles run. It kind of goes with what we were talking about a little bit, right? How Djokovic, you know, got to cover more court. He's put in some serious mileage, 108 and just 88 for Federer.
But
88 miles run.
Those miles are such tough miles, Patrick,
Yeah, they
because it's side to side, and then it's a dash forward, and then a lob over your head. You've got to change direction again to get back there. It is tough to be at the top of this sport. These guys have made a major physical commitment.
Well, and the fact that Federer has had to run a lot less is part of the reason why is having this longevity. You know, that's going to be the big question mark. It already is for Nadal, but it'll certainly be one for Djokovic as he gets into his later 20s, and Andy Murray as well. There's only one Roger Federer.
Listen to the feet to emphasize what Patrick just said, because you can hear the way that Novak is running. With Roger, he's silent.
Speak of the road work, you know, the whole changeover, Djokovic was looking over at his physio, and he was stretching the back, and he went to an energy bar.
15. Listen to Novak's feet.
15-all.
This is a hard court, and he still slides and skids.
Thank you.
Share with you that you don't see as much of the crowd as you do in an outdoor tournament, because they're in the dark for the most part here at the O2 Arena, but this place is jammed. There's got a seat to be had, just short of 18,000.
It's been like that all week from the very start of the round robin. Sometimes I'll light up the crowd if there's like a great rally. I'll light up the crowd in between points, but it's kind of cool. It makes it really the act. You know, it puts the players in the court in the spotlight.
Oh, that's a superb angle. And we're even in the first set.
Yeah, there's one of those angles from Djokovic as he tries to stretch out a little bit. 4-all. Well, Tuesday on ESPN, 4 championship coaches headline the State Farm Champions Classic from the Georgia Dome, which is the site of this year's next year's Final Four. Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans take on Bill Self's Kansas Jayhawks at 7. And then at 9, Coach K and the Duke Blue Devils take on John Calipari's Kentucky Wildcats. First meeting between Duke and Kentucky in 10 years. That's quite a lineup there. The State Farm Champions Classic on ESPN. Watch ESPN in 3D. ESPN, the home court of college hoops.
Mistake of the sprayed forehand from Federer. It's love 15 at 4 apiece. Fasten the seatbelts, everyone. Big moment. Sorry, Brett. Go ahead, Brett. Sorry.
I was just going to say, you got to call him Reload Kentucky, and it looks like reloading right now for Djokovic.
And he puts his body through some serious strain. Does Djokovic, so much more than Federer.
15-all.
Again, listen to his feet.
kind of like that point. I mean, 3 backhands at full stretch. Trying to stay in that rally.
He's stretching again now. That return, Patrick, that deep down the middle with a little bit of height.
Yep.
Overall record between these two favors Federer 16-12, but if you take out the first 4 matches that they play, they're dead even after that. In the early stages of Novak's career, Roger Federer was the king, no question. Deuce at 4-all. That is so dangerous. I know, we like when they come to the net, Patrick, but it's got to be against the passing shot that is almost a winner, because against Djokovic, he's got such margin on the pass.
Yeah, and he gets that ball really low, and he's so quick at reacting. Takes that one right off the bounce, and he's got himself a chance to try to serve for the set if he can break here.
Second serve. Wow. He was only at 36%.
That had some extra kick on that second serve. It jumped up on Novak, who was waiting for it. He had 2 feet in the alley on that return.
Yeah, Roger's definition of going for a bigger second serve is not speed. It's more spin. It's more action on it. So the MPH doesn't really tell you a lot. But he definitely goes for more spin and better, even better direction on it. Takes a bigger risk, but it paid off. That's why I think his serve overall is still the one I'd want to have. Djokovic is starting to vary the height of the ball really well, and that's starting to give Federer a little bit more to deal with and think about. See that ball getting up a little bit higher.
I have the sense, Patrick, from where I sit, that this is more important for Federer to win this first set than for Novak.
But Cliffy would be so right about that. 24 of the 28 matches they played, won by the first set, was the winner of the match. And 4 times Djokovic has come back when he was a set down. Roger has never come from a set down to beat Djokovic.
Trying for the kick on that first serve. That's one of those points that we've seen from him here during this week, Patrick, where he just stays back and says, okay, try and beat me because I'm not going to beat myself, talking it from and Novak's standpoint.
Seems like Novak's making good progression to the Federer forehand. He's making more errors off of that side.
Another chance for Djokovic.
Right, really interesting there. Djokovic actually moved over towards the middle. And he was all over that serve from Federer, which wasn't that well placed, but either he read it or he just sensed it.
7-minute game. Another chance.
Look how wide he's standing here.
Into the body serve.
That's smart. It's really a cat and mouse game right now. Yeah, Djokovic sort of giving Federer a little more room to the forehand side on the return. He's so long and he's so quick, he thinks maybe he can catch up with it. Now, Federer doesn't serve with tremendous pace, remember.
That is wide.
That's a bad miss from Djokovic. Yeah, he's ticked off. He's getting challenged, but that did appear to be wide.
Yeah, that I don't think that was close.
Yeah, it was an inch wide at least.
So that goes to Federer. He's got a game point. Again at 4 apiece. Few more unforced errors coming from Federer, as you, Patrick and Brad, have said. It seems like the longer the points go, the more it favors Novak Djokovic. The problem for Federer is that you don't want to go for too much too soon.
He sort of hung in midair a little bit, didn't he, Djokovic? He got fooled. That's amazing balance to the body. Watch it, it sort of freezes him right here. And he's able to still reach out and get enough on that to hit a winner.
He was off balance. It was basically all arm. It's amazing. That's one for the highlight reel.
What you call him yesterday? Gumby, right?
Yeah, Gumby.
Gumby-like.
With the break is served. That's his second break for Novak Djokovic. Big start for Federer, leading 3 games to love. Since then, he has won just 1 game. It's Djokovic for the set when we come back. Live coverage, everyone. We are enjoying the capital city of Great Britain. This is London. It's the O2 Arena, and it's hosting the year-ending championships. It is world's #1. Novak Djokovic, who has just broken for the 2nd time in the first set against world's #2, Roger Federer. Federer winning Wimbledon this year. Djokovic won first slam of the year down under in Melbourne, Australia. And they are contesting the year-ending championship. Best of 3 sets, and Djokovic is 1 game away from a 1-set love lead.
Please.
Talk a lot about Federer's serve, but boy, Djokovic has picked up his serve. It's getting broken in the first game. He's been spot on. 69% first serve percentage in the set.
Worth mentioning that he changed his serve in 2010. This is a very different swing that he has at the ball now. He used to have a serve that was problematic for him. He couldn't control it, serve double faults. They are pretty much history now, and it has made a huge difference. He was by far the best player in 11, and he's been the best player this year too, largely because of that serve.
Shot spot confirms that one, just missed. 30-15 for Djokovic.
Set point. This is the year-ending championships, and you know, if you're a casual viewer of our great game of tennis, you might say, well, okay, this is just another match, but it has far more wide-ranging implications for the game, because in the locker room, if you win this year-ending championship, it means so much to the rest of the field and for the next year coming up, apart from just the points and the money. The prestige and the confidence that a win here in London gives you. Deuce. To break. Long points have benefited Djokovic, not that one.
Actually, that time Roger put a little more air in his shots, a little more spin.
Break point. Genius of Roger Federer. Just keeping the unforced errors down. Point for point, stroke for stroke with Djokovic, who's such a good defensive player.
That's a heck of a game there by Federer. Maybe mentally more than anything else to stay in there. It was set point, remember.
Feels like a home game in Basel. The crowd's about 99-1 here.
Something's hurting now. You come down on the wrist. You got to be real careful with the wrist. 14-15. Put Del Potro out for a year.
Yeah, he's still stretching that back, and I
Ooh,
mean,
yeah.
He laid out there.
Yeah, it came down hard, and when you have the racket in your hand, that's oof. That was a pretty hard fall there. Djokovic thought about challenging, but decides not to. So easy hold, which is exactly what Federer wanted there. He'd been struggling on the serve.
Matches turn on a dime, don't they? Roger was in trouble here just a few minutes ago. Now he's up. Djokovic being worked on here by the ATP Tour trainer. As you can see, that elbow was bleeding. He has another look at the fall. You can see sliding again there, and he goes over on it. And it looked at that point like this might be a serious injury, but find out. He got right up and played the next point without any complaint. Now is being attended to on the sidelines by the trainer, and I guess we will hear in just a second whether he needs to take the 3-minute official timeout.
Yeah, he just got a pretty good gash. And, you know, on that, when he dove from the baseline, which is crazy, Cliff, he did the smart thing by letting his racket go, because if you don't let your racket go, Patrick, that's how you can really hurt yourself, landing on your racket.
Yeah, but I don't think he did let it go. It didn't look like he did.
Watch this, and lets it go. Yeah, see that again in super slow-mo. Maybe you're right.
No, he never let it go.
Yeah, it just came out after he jarred it.
Yeah.
That's how you can really hurt yourself.
Yeah, I mean, the elbow, you don't have to worry about a little scrape on the elbow, but if you hurt the wrist, on this, particularly the right wrist for a tennis player, that's not good. But it doesn't seem like he did. So
started out the year Novak Djokovic winning the Australian after he had come off 3 straight wins, including the French Championship the year before. Could have made it 4 in a row for the world's #1 player.
He hit the deck a few times in that match too, didn't he?
He sure did.
In Australia.
How long was that match as well? So currently ranked #1. There's his overall record at 74-12. He had an even better record in 11. As for Roger Federer, current ranking is at #2, 71-11, his biggest title. Obviously this year another Wimbledon, that's 7 for him. Current ranking #3 for Andy Murray, who won the Olympic Games after that championship match, lost to Federer at Wimbledon. He beat him in the Olympic final.
I'll tell you what's not an easy question to answer, Cliff, so I'll ask you, because I ask you the tough questions. You look at the major events won. Who's the player of the year in men's tennis this year? I mean, we know Djokovic is going to finish #1, but who, in your mind, who's the player of the year? Okay, mate.
Given the entirety of the year, I'm going to give it to Djokovic. I think that...
if he wins this match, I think he should be. But maybe if he doesn't, you might have to consider Murray.
Well, we had 4 different winners in Grand Slams. So you're giving a lot more credit to the Olympic Games, which I don't blame you for that, Brad, because Murray had a great year-ending.
The cut man,
including the U.S. Open.
The cut man did his job. The ATP trainer fixed the cut.
5-6 first set.
Beautiful shot on the run from Federer.
How does he get that much pace on the ball that low?
Let me see. Genius? Maybe that's it.
Love 15.
Oh, that's a loose backhand there.
Yeah, first one wasn't a loose point, but Djokovic is in trouble.
He's got to be reeling since that set point.
If you're looking at player of the year, how can you give Andy Murray the nod over Roger Federer if he wins this match? Because he wins Wimbledon and the year-ending championship.
Yeah, I'd give it to one of these two guys. I mean, Djokovic has won 3 Masters events. He's got the best. When it's that close, you got to give it to the guy who's been the most consistent, I think. If Federer were to win this, you certainly could make a case for him, because he's got a couple, got the year-end championship, Cincinnati, he won. That's great serving under pressure from Djokovic.
3 in a row from love 30 down after that delay.
Exactly 1 hour of play in this match.
Winning this championship match, just by the way, everybody, is worth $830,000. They both made $410,000 yesterday by winning semi-final berth.
That's an amazing stat there. 16-2 for Djokovic in tiebreaks. And Federer's got a good record at 21-14. That's outstanding for Novak. There's a reason why I was so surprised by that, Cliff. You know the reason? Because it was wrong. 16-12. That's still okay.
I was going to say 16-2 was sounding outrageous.
That was,
Just wanted to see whether you were paying attention to our graphics.
Apparently. I usually do.
Djokovic.
Oh, what a spectacular down the line backhand clean winner from Roger Federer. We're back on serve in the tie break at 2-1.
2-1 Djokovic.
No, missed it. Djokovic not showing any worse for wear after that fall that he took.
2-all.
Still flying very freely, moving well. Seemed to be any elbow or wrist issue.
If anything, it kind of relaxed him a little bit.
Well, he lost the first 2 points after the fall and then came right back. Won his serve. To Federer.
3-2 Federer.
Had it in his sights.
He set that up perfectly, Cliff. He put a lot of air on that first forehand and had a look at that second one.
Well, it was a tape clipper. It was very close, and you got to take risks, you know. One didn't work out, and we're dead solid even.
Amazing consistency, isn't it, from the top players in men's tennis? You know, this is the 5th year in a row, Cliff, that the top 4 are the same guys. Are you sticking with your prediction that Del Potro is going to crack the top 4 next year?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What was the record before that? Maybe 3? Maybe 2?
It's actually amazing that as Federer's going to challenge this, but that one clearly wide, that Nadal stayed in the top 4, missing half the year.
Yeah, well, he had such a good start to the year. He won the French Championships and he won the clay court tournaments. That, as you said, Patrick, the Rita official challenge, that was wide.
Djokovic.
Get even again.
For all. Federer has 3 challenges remaining.
Relentless work of Joker going to the backhand there on every ball.
5-4 Djokovic.
Mishit from Federer sails, and Djokovic mini break, tie break, first set, year-ending championship, everyone. He gets 2 serves, he leads 5-4. Has a bad second serve win percentage. Federer is so opportunistic.
Yeah, he doesn't hold back, does he? He got a forehand to attack, and he did just that. When you mentioned those second serve points, Cliff, they've been the bugaboo for Djokovic. It's just 3 of, now it's 3 of 14 now after that point.
It's a dismal stat.
So what does he do here? Does he take a little bit off the first?
Negative.
A bit bigger on this second, maybe.
Getting 70% of his first serves in.
It's out.
6-5 Djokovic.
21 minutes since his last set point. That was on his serve. That's a set point.
Unreal. You got to get up.
Scramble.
I'm not sure he cut one string on that volley.
That says it all, doesn't it, right there? That is outrageous.
Please.
Remember, Federer never beaten Djokovic when he loses the first set.
Poor decision there by Roger to try to go down the line. Wasn't really a ball to change the direction on, and now Djokovic has a set point on his own serve.
His third set point. Good backhand stab on the return from Federer, but Djokovic was running around the backhand side, hits a forehand clean winner. Really no play for Roger Federer, and Novak Djokovic, #1 in the world, after this titanic first set struggle, leads by a set. Barclays ATP World Tour Finals, everybody, and this match so far has absolutely lived up to its billing. So many matches have this year. That stupendous championship match down under in Australia, and that was just the beginning of the year. 4 different Grand Slam winners this year. Roger Federer winning Great Wimbledon Championship after Novak Djokovic had won in Australia, and then Andy Murray after Rafa Nadal wins the French championships. He wins the US Open. So 4 different winners in 4 different Grand Slams, and the 2 best in the world, #1 and 2, now battling it out here for this year-ending championship title.
Yeah, that first set sort of lived up to the hype, didn't it? What a set of tennis. Hour and 11 minutes.
Take your seats quickly, please, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Phenomenal stuff.
Federer is the reigning 2-time champion of this event. In fact, when he lost a round-robin match here to Del Potro, this was the first match that he'd lost here in 3 years. He has dominated this event here in the O2 Arena.
Lovely change.
Ominous numbers there if you're a Federer fan. 0-8 when losing the first set against Djokovic.
$15.
that high ball, played a high ball back. That was a smart shot.
Federer has 6 titles under his belt this year, 9 finals, 17th Grand Slam crown at Wimbledon. Silver at the London Olympics. And he's going to finish in the top 2 for the 9th time in 10 years. First game, second set.
13-14. This would be huge for Roger. Djokovic a little bit flat this first game.
Both guys using the body serve a little bit in this match. Smart. Kind of a little bit of a lull, it feels like, on both players. It's sort of expected after that struggle of an opening set.
Great point again. Federer started out this match on fuego, making very few unforced errors, got out to a 3-game-to-love lead, and
kind of role reversal of what happened yesterday. Murray started out on fire against Federer. Federer weathered the storm, won the first set in the tie break, and then really ran away with the second. Will Djokovic be able to do that today?
For Fed fans, Patrick, this has become a big game because he's had a couple of break chances, and yeah, there's a lull in the action, but that is very often when the best in the world take the advantage. If Djokovic holds on here,
One of the biggest reactions of any point for Djokovic this whole match.
understand it. It's about the swings and winning points, but at a certain time it becomes a battle of mental tenacity as well.
That's where Federer's over the years has just been so effective with controlling that center of the court with the forehand. He's got to continue to look for that play.
That's a great two backhands, a short one and then up the line.
Advantage Djokovic.
Must be double figures errors combined in this game.
Yeah, I was just checking that a second ago. There have been a lot of unforced errors here, 2 and 4. There have been 6 unforced errors between the two of them. It's deuce.
Advantage Federer.
He has that body language of being frustrated, Patrick, but you've seen it so many times, and he just comes right back.
He
Another chance to break.
Shakes it off quickly now. It used to be a sign that he was getting unnerved and maybe rattled, but it doesn't really happen anymore.
Third break point. This is the second serve.
Federer finally got the forehand he wanted, and he just jerked it wide.
So look at Paul Annacone in the middle of your screen there a second ago. He's Federer's coach. Very offensive player.
I missed it.
Yeah, that's broken stick.
11 minutes in that game. And in case you just joined us, let's revisit that really classic first set.
Yeah, lots of ebbs and flows in this one. Federer came out on fire in the first couple of games, littering up the stat sheet with winners, particularly off the forehand side. But got to 4-all, and Djokovic is an amazing shot here that got him to a break point. And we went to the tie break, and this was the one on set point. This incredible shot from Federer to even it at 6 apiece. But Djokovic able to get the last laugh with a comprehensive 1-2 punch right there. But Federer right back with a quick break to start this second set.
Hey, Patrick, I was racking my brain. You said the top 4 finished 5 years in a row, you know, in the top 4. And I was thinking what the record was before. 3 times, 83 to 85. It happened with Connors, Lendl, Mack, Wilander.
Okay, nice.
3 years, right?
3 years in a row.
Yep, these guys have done it 5.
Yeah, long. Lovely.
All right, Roger Federer taking advantage of that lull there in the action after an intense, dramatic first set. It's the early break. Now love 15. Kicks that big second serve high into the backhand side, and that opens up the court for the down the line backhand 15-all.
It was only 90 miles an hour, but effective.
Federer has held the #1 spot on the computer ranking for 302 weeks. That's a record. Sampras had 286. Federer broke that this year.
Federer sending a little message over to Djokovic. Still very much into this with a quick break to start off this second set and hoping he gets an easy hold here.
Djokovic changed that racket after the first set. He totally broke that.
Federer holds. He's got a 2-game-to-love lead in the second set, having lost the first in a very tight tie-break. We're going to kick off our 2013 with coverage of the year's first major, the Australian Open from Melbourne. Everyone starts on January the 13th. That's at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2 and ESPN3. Prediction, Patrick. It's that time of the
Prediction
year.
on Australia?
Yes,
no, it's
sir.
not that time yet.
Yeah.
No.
I was going to ask you.
We got an off season coming up, a nice longer one for the players this year.
So you're going to change your mind between now and the start of the Australian?
See what happens here.
No predictions until the draw is out.
We get down under, we settle in, we do a little sports center the day before, and then kick off the show, and then before you know, we'll be back here.
Another 3 years here at the O2 Arena in London. Barclays is a sponsor, and the tour is coming back.
Novak's starting to look like he's getting into one of those moods where he's playing a little more quickly, and there's a chance for Federer here to blow open this set.
That can break here. You get the feeling Djokovic might just let the set go and reload for the third.
It's a little early for that, gentlemen.
Yeah, it is. And even though when Djokovic starts to look this way, he still
that's exactly
stays in
right.
it.
Looks can be deceiving.
14-15.
Djokovic holds, so he's down a break in the second set. Early stages, 2-1. First set, Djokovic in a tiebreak. It is about 10 to 10 here in the evening in London, everybody, and your intrepid crew, because there was a little more traffic than we had anticipated, took the riverboat up here from the hotel.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. Along the Thames.
Up the Thames. Yeah. A little 40-minute ride.
What do we have, about 11 stops? It seemed like a New York subway.
We got the local boat.
Yeah, but nice comfortable seats. One way to get around London on the Thames. Anyway, 2-1. Federer with a break.
Well, Federer had the break lead in the opening set. He's got it again here in the second set.
First service.
We had about 4 twists of that plot in the first set. Maybe we'll have something like that again here in the second.
See that too often. Total miss in on the back end.
Off of a slow ball. The rider gave him no pace, and that was like just a shank.
Left. First service.
Oh, yes. Some good defense from Federer there, but Djokovic just wouldn't let him off the hook.
30-all in this game. Patrick, what do you think of the slice backhand, this one here from Federer? I mean, are you going to have him hit more of those or less if you're his coach?
It depends on the situation and the surface. I like it on this surface because it stays pretty low. I think on an outdoor hard court, he shouldn't hit it as much because the ball doesn't stay as low. But on this court, he can use it a little bit more. That one he hit, actually the last one, he tried to come over it, it sat up too much. Gave Djokovic a pretty easy look at that for that forehand winner.
Well, that's very nice. Little soft hands. The softening of the wrist when he makes contact with that one. Little cross court. That's a drop.
14-13.
Novak anticipated that he was going to hit a short one, but that was just too good. Game point.
Roger hasn't been to the net that much in this match. Did you expect that? I think he's, what, 10 for 14 coming in?
9 for 11. Well, that's very unlike you, Brad, to be that off on this stat. What's wrong with you?
I just read it on the giant board up here. They said 10 for 14.
Well, that's a little different than our stats. So.
Don't trust the giant stat man, then.
That's a big serve wide to the forehand side. Djokovic cannot get to it.
And a few
do
more,
anything effective with it.
a few more come-ons, and, you know, Roger's sensing the moment now.
Game point. Wow, an ace for a 3-1 lead. Novak Djokovic is the #1 player in the world. He clinched the year-ending ranking. Second straight year. That was on November 5th. Put together another outstanding season, not as outstanding as his last year. The records will identify him for 2 straight years as the year-ending #1. Trailing 1-3 in the second set.
Who was the last man to do that other than Roger? Finished 2 years in a row at #1.
Leighton Hewitt?
Yep.
That was in 2001 and 2. 2001 he won the US Open and beating Roger Federer. No, it was Pete Sampras in the final. And he beat Nalbandian in the Wimbledon final the following year and ended up #1. And Andy Roddick, he ended up winning the US Open the following year, and he was #1. All in this game. 3-1.
30-all.
Easy 3 games for Federer to start this match, but since then these two have been living on the edge.
Missed it. So you don't often think of an indoor match where it's a lot more shot making and offensive hitting, but this is turned into a real physical contest.
And Rogers played 3 days in a row.
A lot of tough, long, grinding kind of points and quick change of direction.
Well, you saw in the first set, it was just 1 point here or there that makes the difference. That's still true in this set, and Federer's got a chance here for a double break.
Changeup on the first serve, 94.
And then he sort of flattened out that backhand, Brad, down the line, got Federer on the run. Back to deuce.
Advantage Djokovic.
Kelly, that backhand down the line sort of ho-hum, Patrick, I guess, but tell you what, that could be a huge point because that would have been a double break for Federer that he didn't get. 3-2 he leads. Pete Sampras is the man. He won it from 93 to 98, and if you remember in 98 how he struggled that year because he wanted to, you know, beat the record. He wanted to be the greatest ever in terms of year-ending #1, and he succeeded in that. Now Roger Federer from 04 to 07 came close, but not as many years as Sampras. Now Djokovic for the last couple of years has had the year-end #1 spot to his credit. He won Lendl from 85 to 87. Stefan Edberg a couple of times.
That took a lot out of Sampras. Remember that? He put so much into that at the end of the year that year to get that #1 for the 6th time.
Because nobody had ever done it.
No. He was tied with Connors at that point.
Been one break in the second set.
30.
First game against Djokovic's serve, very nearly another break. It was a break point that Federer had in the last serve game of Djokovic, but Novak held on.
You get the feeling a 1-break lead against Djokovic is about the smallest of anybody.
Djokovic down again. Got blood on the elbow, maybe some on the knee.
14.
That's an amazing slide.
Look at that. That's incredible. Look at the feet. I mean, they're like one sliding on the floor. I mean, they're torqued out of position. It's incredible.
He used the hand to pirouette just in case he got it back in play to go back and retrieve another one.
Yay, Federer. Federer leads 4 games to 2.
Feeling, don't you, that a guy like Novak Djokovic can say, listen, I'm going to turn it on at a certain time at the really important stages of the match, which is true. The only problem for him in this matchup is that it's true of Federer also.
Right. I get the feeling, Cliff, that both guys are sort of conserving a little bit of energy here. Not as many long rallies right now. Federer's got the break, so he can take a couple of more chances on the return.
You're exactly right. That's a very low percentage play. Federer
30-15.
Plenty speedy enough to get to a drop shot from Djokovic. That was not a smart idea.
Djokovic is in a little bit of his rope-a-dope mode right now.
He's still got a little fuel left in the tank.
No, he's got plenty left, but this is, he kind of go through these patches. You know, and the difference now, Brad, is that when he used to go through these early in his career, he dropped a bunch of games in a row.
14,
now he's found a way to actually play fast, play more aggressively, go for shots, and still stay in the match or stay in the set.
This is where it gets interesting, everyone. It's 4 games to 3 now. Celebrate the serve for Federer, but things have been so tight after the first 3 games, and they still are. Shortly after 10 o'clock at night here in London, everyone, Cliff Drysdale, Patrick McEnroe alongside Brad Gilbert's at courtside. You're watching the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. This is the year-ending championship. This is what the players play for all year to qualify to get into the Elite 8. Divided into 2 groups of 4. They play round-robin competition. They play everyone else, the other 3 players in their group, round-robin competition. That started on Monday. To end up the top 2 winners in each division play the semi-final. That happened yesterday. Federer winning his match in 3 sets, and Djokovic as well. This is the final. Official tour match of the year. Federer up 4-3.
And Lord Drysdale, how much cash are we playing for the winner today?
I wonder if this match takes home an additional 830,000. Puts it away. He doesn't miss the overhead. Just so you know, an undefeated winner here, which Djokovic would be, takes on $1.76 million if he wins it.
That was an unbelievable volley. He got jammed here, puts it right to the line.
He just is never off balance, is he?
It's only his second double of the match. Well, the prize money is certainly gravy for these players, but the points are what they're really after. I mean, they're already making tons of dough, both these guys, obviously. But
because the points are that affects the rankings and the seedings and.
Almost 3,000 Djokovic would be if he wins this match ahead of Roger. If Roger wins this match, only maybe 1,000. So it's 2,000 swing this match.
Yeah, because Federer won this event last year, so he's looking to just keep pace as we go to the Rico Challenge. It was wide. So there was a second serve that Federer put a little bit more on at 99 and went for depth on it. So there's, again, an example of his variety when he can go for more on the second serve. Often he goes for that extra kick, the extra better direction.
And more mustard on that first ball backhand.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He took a risk on that one over the high part of the net. Great chance here for Novak.
Look out.
Is this one of those lulls he just woke up from?
13-14.
What a serve from Federer, another ace from him, and it couldn't have come at a better time. That's his eighth ace of the match. Eighth.
Please.
Oh, I missed it. Wow.
Boy, that was a 2-foot putt.
That was a duck, he's right, Cliff.
He did all the great work with a couple of great kicks, and he looked like he got a little sloppy with his footwork on the easy ball.
Federer was going the wrong direction. Game point Federer.
Roger looked over to his camp about how the call was, and they all put their finger up.
It's Mirka in the middle of your screen. That's Roger's wife.
Oh, yeah.
Close.
I'll tell you the key to making that volley as effective as it was. Watch how quickly Federer moves to his left right here. So he has enough space, enough distance right there. That way he can get his racket out in front. Look at that brilliant move. He's going to his left, but that enables him to get his racket in front of his body and stick that volley.
That reminded me of your brother who would sprint forward on floaters.
That's exactly right, Brad. Keep the racket in front of you and move the body to the perfect position. Big hold there and a big miss from Djokovic on that 30-all point, that deuce point. Well, you know what time it is, Cliff. It's Monday Night Football time, baby, on ESPN, 6:30 Eastern. It's Monday Night Countdown served up by Applebee's, 8:30 Eastern. The Chiefs take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's Monday Night Football, KC versus Pittsburgh tonight from Heinz Field on ESPN. Our buddy Mike Tirico sending out a little love for us, watching the game, watching us while he's prepping for tonight.
Mikey, what a great guy. Always have a little soft spot for Kansas City because Lamar Hunt.
They need it. They need it right now.
Yeah,
they're in trouble.
He was a tennis Hall of Famer and he's a football Hall of Famer.
There's the first time he tried that.
Yeah, chip and charge.
15-11.
Twice in a row. Would you say if you tried that play, it's a little more dangerous coming in on the Djokovic backhand off the pass?
I think it's dangerous, period, either side. The fiery one of the great players in the business who used to be up here with us, Patrick, Fred Stoller used to, I mean, to me, that's a closet shot. I don't like that one.
You don't like the chip and charge?
Not against Novak
You're
Djokovic.
such an old school
today.
guy. I mean, come on.
It's funny, if that play worked, you guys would have said, you would have said, great play.
Yeah, we would.
Of course. I like that little variety, a little mix up.
Okay.
Oh, come on. Oh. Yeah. How about that one? That's amazing. It's a little showtime right here.
14-15.
All just stops.
It was kind of interesting, that whole game, wasn't it? He was chipping and charging and then a drop shot. Djokovic holds, though, Federer to serve for the second set when we come back live to London in the year-ending championship. Year-ending championship, everyone, in the second set. Not quite as electrifying as the first set. Roger Federer getting out to a 3-game-to-love lead, and then just beautiful play from there on in, as it was as close as could be on the third set point that Djokovic had on his serve. He was able to, in the tiebreak, win that first set. Seesaw battle. The second set somewhat different. First game, Djokovic was broken, and Federer has been able to hold since then. Just one more time, and this match is level. 5-4.
Oh, that's anticipation there from Federer. The instincts from Federer here is he just when Djokovic sets to hit it, he just kind of cheats a little bit towards that cross-court play.
What makes that instinct more amazing to me than anything, Patrick, is if you're a serve and volley player, or if you come into the net a lot, you sort of, those instincts become natural for you, but he doesn't. 30 love, 2 points from the set.
That is only the third point that Djokovic has won. He's won 84 points in the match, only 3 at the net. 3 out of 9.
Set points for Federer.
14-15.
Success with that backhand down the line late in the set.
He's had a lot of success fighting off some pretty monumental set and match points against Federer too in the last couple of years, hasn't it? Like 2 straight US Open semifinals.
Straight for Djokovic. He was down 2 set points, and suddenly here, great chance.
And 2 first ball forehands that Roger tried to be a little aggressive on.
Well, he's human. He got tight.
Just stupendous. That's really remarkable. 40-15 and 4 in a row for Djokovic, and he breaks back. We're at 5-all now.
Boy, is Federer going to be kicking himself for that game. As Djokovic looked dead in the water at 40-15 and a couple of really loose points, and you think Novak's not into this now? Look at that reaction.
Yeah, that's a good, I love that forehand when he brings it with a little bit of spin and air cross court to Roger's forehand that opens up the court for him.
Please. Left for service.
Consecutive sets at 5-4 when guys are serving for the set, got broken with set point.
15 love.
Oh, Ace, there's only one way to get here to London if you're in the professional tennis business, and it's the old-fashioned way. You've got to earn it. winning tournaments and gathering points during the year. The top 8 players, the elite 8, qualify. Just 2 left. These two, number 1 and 2 in the world, Djokovic and Federer. In this game at 5 games all after Federer in the last game had 2 set points to level this match at a set apiece. The tension and pressure quotient has risen again.
I mean, it's no way to predict this thing. It's momentum swings galore.
Just like the first set, we had about 4 ebbs and flows in that set. To 100 miles an hour on the dead run.
And he knew he had to hit it deep and hard because Federer had the whole court to work with, and he did it. Not to mention he did it at 5-all, 30-all.
Left. First service.
Cue from Federer and Djokovic. After facing 2 set points last time Federer served, now is in front in the second.
ESPN's presentation of the 2012 Barclays ATP World Tour Finals is brought to you by South African Airways, bringing the world to Africa and taking Africa to the world. South African Airways. Rolex, official timekeeper of the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals. And Tennis Warehouse, where the pros shop. TennisWarehouse.com.
Live coverage of the year-ending championships from London, everyone. Cliff Drysdale here. Patrick McEnroe alongside, and Brad Gilbert's at courtside. We have watched a match that has lived up to everyone's expectations. 1 and 2 in the world. Roger Federer, number 2, started out brilliantly, winning the first 3 games. Djokovic comes back in a very tight tiebreak, his 3rd chance to win the set in the tiebreak, and he took it. Wins it in a close, very closely fought set. Gets the early, it was broken first game of the second set. Federer served for it at 5-4. Had 2 set points and failed. Now 6-5 Djokovic.
Djokovic is moving Federer around. Goes backhand down the line, backhand cross court.
Yeah, he's got Roger on the bicycle here a little bit, and I think it's been the work to the forehand side.
Yeah, that's very strong. I tell you, it is Novak Djokovic that decides sometimes to retreat into defense. But that's not, I mean, he does that on purpose. It's like, you know, beat me if you can. And at this point, Federer did beat him.
But it's not like that. You know, to me, Novak is an offensive player first that plays amazing defense.
13-15.
Federer has had to run more tonight.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because normally it's, even when Djokovic is beating Federer in some other matches, he's covering more court, but not today. And that's taking its toll on Federer now. Not just physically, but mentally as well.
Would you say it's that down the line that's really made him do so much lunging, Roger?
Well, that's definitely been part of it.
Year-ending championship point coming up, everybody. Federer down 30-40 in this game. Djokovic is number one, and deservedly so.
Ladies and gentlemen, for appreciation for our winner this evening, Novak Djokovic.
Nice words to Lars Graf, the chair umpire, his last match in the chair. And you said it, Cliff. I mean, that's a fitting way to end this tournament, this year in men's tennis. Djokovic on the run, the sliding backhand passing shot.
That's his bench, that's his coach, and that's the guys that support him. He is so supportive of not only them, but of his country, of Serbia. He says that he represents Serbia proudly, and that the world sees that country that has been not only divided, but has been thought of in some negative terms with war against NATO countries. Anyway, that's all behind him, and he's the #1 player in the world.
A little different feeling for Roger Federer, who got obviously great applause, and as he usually does, handles the loss with class. But he's used to going into the offseason with a big win.
I think it was
this event.
I think it was a stunned crowd, Patrick. I think they were expecting more tennis, and Djokovic got that Geronimo fist pump, and to his whole box. That was awesome.
We had a stunned guy up here because it was just a few minutes ago that Federer had two
set points on his own serve.
Exactly, to level the match, and for all the world it looked like we were going to be here for a little longer to enjoy a third set for this great championship, the year-ending championship here. But a little hiccup there from Roger Federer at that stage.
A little hiccup in the end of both sets, really. But I'll tell you what amazes me about Federer is his, I mean, he really wanted this one. I mean, this guy's done so much, obviously, and it's just amazing to see his, his interest level and still wanting to win these matches, these important matches. So he's, I think, all in all, an excellent year for Roger. He'll be good to go next year. A little champagne for the Djokovic camp. Why not? A little toast. Another spectacular year for him.
It is a pretty special occasion, and we are going to share this trophy presentation of the year in the championship, and you can see now Novak Djokovic has extended his lead.
Yeah, he's got a real good cushion there, over 2,007, almost 2,700. Murray pretty far back there. Nadal, by the way, if he doesn't start off very hot in Australia, because he got to the final there last year, he could easily move to 5 at the end of the Australian Open.
So I'm going to ask you again. You haven't answered it, and obviously you probably won't answer it again, Patrick, but having seen what you've seen here, you'd have to say Djokovic, having won the Australian next year, would be the favorite to repeat?
I would say that's correct. Djokovic would be the slight favorite, yes. I'm not going to commit.
It's like getting water out of a stone from you.
I mean, we got an off season, you know, we got a couple months here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now the 2012 Barclays ATP World Tour Finals Trophy presentation. Barclays conducted a national search to find the 2012 Barclays Unsung Tennis Hero. And before the winner carries the singles trophy onto court, please, if you could all look up at your screens and give an insight into what incredible work this man has done.
This year, Barclays conducted a nationwide search to find an unsung tennis hero. Milton Gale was introduced to the sport as a ball boy in his native Jamaica. For the last 30 years, he has been coaching tennis in some of South East London's most deprived areas and campaigning for better sports facilities for local children. Milton has helped raise over £800,000 worth of investment to Southwark City Tennis Centre.
Thank you. Please welcome to court the singles trophy 2012 Barclays Unsung Tennis Hero, Milton Gale. Please also welcome back onto court the members of the Barclays ATP World Tour Finals Steering Committee, Andre Silva, Chris Commode, Laurent Delaney, Alex Hill, Mick Dexman, and Roger Draper. Again, please welcome back onto court Brad Druitt, Executive Chairman and President of the ATP. And again, please welcome Ashok Vaswani from Barclays, the Chief Executive of the Retail and Business Banking. And please now, ladies and gentlemen, give a massive round of applause and show your appreciation for the 2012 Barclays ATP World Tour Finals runner-up, Roger Federer. Thanks very much. First things first, congratulations Novak on an amazing year, amazing tournament, an amazing match. Congratulations, you're the best. For me, it's been a great season as well. I think you know, I cannot play much better than I did today, so I'm very pleased as well. I'd like to thank my team around the world, also here, for the great support always, everywhere we go. I really appreciate it.
I'd like to thank the great organization, tournament directors, everybody who makes this tournament so nice for us. It's always one of the great goals for me at the beginning of the year to be taking part in this great tournament. I'm happy I qualified again, and I'm hopeful that I'm going to be able to come back next year, because there's no wild cards, there's no free gifts, so I'm very proud to be taking part in this tournament. So of course, thanks to all the sponsors and everybody that make it special. Ball Boys, referee, Lars, congratulations on an amazing career as well. Our umpires are retiring today. Well done. And then, of course, we broke the sound barrier. It was 1 million fans. You guys make it worthwhile that we play here and that we show up and play so well. Thank you guys. Appreciate you the best. Thank you so, so much.
And now, the 2012 Barclays ATP World Tour Final champion, Novak Djokovic.
Thank you very much. It's the first time I'm here on the closing ceremony in London for the World Tour Final, so it's an extreme honor for me to be here. And Roger, we pushed each other to the maximum today. It's always a privilege and pleasure to play against you. It's a big challenge, so congratulations for a great week. I want to thank Barclays and all the other sponsors for making this tournament possible, and it's definitely one of the best tournaments we have around on the tour. It's a pinnacle of all the tournaments throughout the year, throughout the season. The best players are playing here, so hopefully you all enjoyed the great tennis throughout this week, and thank you for your support. It's been a fantastic season, and I cannot thank enough my team. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you guys, and we couldn't start and we couldn't finish the season in a better way, so I love you, and thank you again all for coming, and see you next year.
And now a very special bottle of Moet and Chandon will be presented to the champion and the runner-up.
As we watch the end of this terrific ceremony here, the ENG Championships, everyone a shout out here from us up here in the booth to our large, close family of professionals that travel with us around the world. They're our friends, they're our family. They're the ones who don't get the credit. We don't hear from them, we don't see them, but these are the guys that really make it happen. They're the ones who really do the work. To all of you, before we say goodbye, happy holidays, and the same to you, our viewers at home.
Yeah, we got an amazing team at ESPN. Our production team does it unbelievable. They're so passionate about the sport, and we thank them for that. And as we know, it's only about 60 days to Australia, Cliff. So everybody take a deep breath and relax, and We'll see you down under.
Well, what about the shot of the day today? There were quite a few to choose from, Patrick, and here's the one, our choice for the best.
Well, not surprising it came off the racket of Roger Federer. Really a terrific point from both players. This was a set point for Djokovic in that tie break, but it sort of symbolizes this match, was that we saw, you know, some brilliant shot making, some incredible highlight reel stuff from Federer. But at the end of the day, Djokovic was just too consistent, too solid, and weathered some of those storms really well, and he thoroughly deserved to win this title.
Year-ending championship brings the top 8 players in the world together. They did not let us down here from day one.
Nope.
There was some brilliant tennis, Patrick.
We've been lucky. I mean, it really hasn't. You know, in my opinion, it's pretty clear now Djokovic, the player of the year, with a major, with 2 slam finals, with 3 Masters wins, and now the win at the year-end championship. That was a pretty bummed out Roger Federer, by the way.
First major of 2013, the Australian Open from Melbourne, starts January 13th, everybody. That's January 13th, 6:30 Eastern Time on ESPN and ESPN 3. This has been a presentation of ESPN, and for more information, as always, log on to ESPN.com. For Brad and Patrick, I'm Cliff. Thanks so much for joining us again. Happy holidays, everybody. Coming up next on ESPN2, NFL 32. Happy holiday season. We'll see you in January. Melbourne, Australia. Will Djokovic win it again?